All right, I'm sorry. I don't really know why that just happened. I am on Wi-Fi. It doesn't tell me I have a bad connection. There's literally nothing else connected to the internet right now in my house. So there should be no problems, hopefully. So today we're going to talk about Proto-Pasta and their newest color, which is this one right here. You will have to bear with me a little bit because Nick is currently out of town, which means, oh, boo, I just knocked something over, which means he's not here to help me out with the chat. And since I still don't have my laptop back, the chat may scroll by quickly. And if it does, I'm sorry. If I miss your question or comment, then just say it again, but please don't spam the chat. I just dropped something, so I'm going to go grab it really quick. And I think I also need to turn on Do Not Disturb on my phone because it's buzzing like crazy. All right, hold on. Let's see. Where is Do Not Disturb? Stand by. Do not disturb. Okay. All right, that should fix that problem. So in addition to having the new glitter flake from Proto-Pasta, they also sent me a couple of prototype colors that they had. Hello. So I have a couple of those to show you guys too. One of these I showed off on Twitter the other day, and I figured I would chat with you guys a little bit about those while I have you guys here. But first and foremost is this little guy right here. Yeah, prototype Proto-Pasta. Which is awesome of them to have sent me. It's got a hint of a shimmer to it. It's not like quite like the OG glitter flake, which is still my favorite. You know, after all these other glitters come out, the original glitter flake is still my favorite. And I think that's because it has a much bigger glitter fleck to it than the rest of them. So here you can see the little unicorn, the My Little Pony unicorn that 3D printed Aspie designed. My phone is ringing. Why, I don't know. I have a feeling that may be Nick. But hello. Hi, Mike. I'm assuming you're with my husband still, maybe. Okay, so the new Proto-Pasta is amazing, as I would expect nothing less from Proto-Pasta. It prints like a freaking dream. This I printed at 210. Answer the phone, please. But the phone is in the other room. Okay, stand by. This is going to be riveting YouTubing. I'll be right back. I'm good. I'm live streaming right now. Yeah, well, I mean, it's really riveting when I walk away from the camera.
Yeah, I'm just saying, all I saw was printers on screen.
Well, now you're on screen. I mean, well,
wait, I'm on screen?
Yeah.
Well, hold on a second. I'm here with Mike.
Hi, Mike.
Hello.
So Nick and Mike are currently in Toronto. And yeah, that's all I got. Anyway, can I get back to Proto-Pasta now?
This stream went international. I don't know how.
I'm pretty sure anytime Mike is in the stream, it's international.
Yes, but it's like super international.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to go back to talking about Proto-Pasta.
You should do that.
Okay, do you want me to hold you on speakerphone or do you want me to hang up?
I think the rest of the world wants you to hold us on speakerphone.
Okay, well, it's really loud, so I'm going to turn it down.
Okay.
All right, well, they probably won't be able to hear you now.
Well, what's the point of that then?
Yeah, well, your background noise is too loud. If I turn it up, then it's screechy.
Good point. All right.
And now I'm hearing myself through the phone. So I'm going to hang up.
All right.
All right, I will talk to you later.
Sounds good, gorgeous.
All right, love you.
Love you too.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Okay, that was riveting YouTubing, I'm sure. Back to this sucker right here. Hello. So this is the new glitter flake from Proto-Pasta. It is not nearly as glittery and slightly more metallic than the original glitter flake, which is just the silver one that's right here that I'm throwing. So this is the original, and it's got a lot more glitter fleck to it, which is a larger glitter fleck, but it is less metallic. No, you didn't really, other than Nick calling in, because he's in Toronto right now. And NLTMW is with him at the moment. So it's a little bit more metallic, as I think you can kind of see on camera. It's not quite as glittery as the original, but it is more metallic and it does have a really pretty sheen to it. To put it into comparison, here is the High Five Blue, which doesn't have quite as much of a glitter to it. I know, Bella. Bella doesn't feel good, so I may be interrupted and have to cut the stream short because she has a tummy ache. But as you can see, well, I hope you can see, the shine on this one isn't quite as high as it is on this one. These were both printed at 210, I believe. I know this one was printed at 210. I'm pretty sure this one was. They were both printed on the Trinus. Actually, all of these were printed on the Trinus. And unfortunately, the Trinus has since died. Oh, come on. Come here. The dog. Seriously. So all of these were printed on the Trinus, and unfortunately, the Trinus started yesterday. It'll stop mid-print home. You're a bull in a china shop. It will home and then just stop. The temperature stays up and it just hangs out there, which is obviously not what you want. So I will not be printing with it until I can figure out what is wrong with it. But I was able to get one of each of these printed. And for those of you who missed in the beginning, I do have these two right here, which are prototypes from Proto-Pasta. There is a pink and a berry color, and the pink is absolutely stunning. The pink is one of the prettiest pinks I've ever seen. It's got just a hint of shimmer to it and a hint of metallic. I wouldn't say anywhere near as metallic as either of the two blues, but it's just enough to make the color pop even more. It's really, really pretty. I'm a huge fan. Seriously, dog fur. Right? The other one they sent me, which I didn't tease at all. I will go back to the blue in just a second. I didn't tease this one at all because I had just started printing with it. It is a much darker in the package. It looked more mauve, but it's definitely like a rich berry color. And I like it, but I don't like it nearly as much as the pink. I think they knocked it out of the park with the pink one. And I'm glad I got to see this one, but I'm really, really hoping that they bring this one out for good because it's amazing. To compare it to the blue, This is the Winter Flake. The Winter Flake definitely has a little bit of a translucence to it. I don't think you're going to be able to see it on here. But you can definitely see this has 2 perimeters. And I think, I don't know if you can see the bottom of that either. I think it's too shiny. I think there's 3 bottom layers maybe 4 on this. I can't remember. But it is a little bit more translucent. The pink is very opaque, just as the High Five blue is super opaque. The Winter Flake is a little bit more like the original, where it does have a little bit of translucency to it. These are HTPLAs, which means you can anneal them to strengthen them by baking them in an oven. A tad more green to it, but then it wouldn't really be a Winter Flake. Will I answer some questions regarding that particular model with some print issues? I will try my best. The STL is on Thingiverse. I just linked to it on Twitter yesterday. But I will, and I didn't think to link to it in the description box below, but I think if you go to Thingiverse and search 3D printed Aspie, you will find it. And I also think if you just search unicorn, it's one of the top ones that comes up, I think, or at least it was. It's a great little file. It has a version with the tail standing up or the tail laying flat, and I did the tail laying flat just because I liked it more. I do like the color. I do like the Fleck in it. I wish there was a little bit more glitter in it. Thank you, Dan. So one of them, and I don't know which one you guys posted, but one of them is actually the Pegasus that doesn't have the little unicorn horn. The other is the unicorn. And I think there's also a multi-material version, maybe. I may be lying on that, but I thought there was. So my only complaint is I kind of want more glitter. I know that's a shock for you guys. But the amount of glitter in this is much less. It does definitely have a huge metallic to it. And it does have a good sheen to it, but it's not glittery enough. See, that's how I feel about this one. This one makes me want to like paint a truck blue because it's just such a perfect blue. Bella, really? Come here. There, this is going to have to be a short stream because I think Missy over here wants some attention. So I love this blue. I think I like the High Five blue in terms of color better than the Winter Flake. She's killing me. All right, you guys have 2 options. I can either take her outside and you guys can wait for me, or I can end the stream early because she wants to go out. So you tell me what you would like me to do. You'll wait? Are you sure? It's going to be a pretty boring wait. Stop. Stop. Field trip, you want to go down in the basement with me? I don't know if the signal will be strong enough down there, but I could take you guys with me if you want. All right, I'll take you guys with me. This will be an entertaining look into the real life of our house. So this is our hallway. You're not going to actually go outside with me. It's like 20 degrees outside. I'm not going outside. Just put the dog out and stay in the basement. So we do have a daylight basement, which means that we can go outside from the basement, which is real exciting stuff. And okay, go. This is where Nick spends his afternoon sometimes. All right. So since I didn't bring any ponies down here, do you have any questions for me while I'm hanging out? We can discuss the model if you want to address that now. Thinking about designing an attachment for the MK2/3 that would allow for interchangeable tool heads so you could switch. To be honest, I don't really have many thoughts regarding that. Because it's not something that I would really need. Yeah, we're in the basement. I had to take the dog out. And rather than just leave you guys sitting upstairs, I took you with me. I did see the copper they teased this afternoon. That print looked amazing. Yeah, the basement is Nick's domain. As you can see, all of our patio furniture is in here because it's almost winter. What are you doing, Bella? I think she's stuck. There we go. Go ahead. What did you do? You're a mess. Okay. Anyway, yeah, so all of our patio furniture is in here because it's cold outside and we won't be using the patio anymore this season. Yeah, 20 Fahrenheit. Give or take. There's frost on all the grass outside, so I'm guessing it was 25 when I left work. I don't know what that translates to for Celsius. Chilly. I wouldn't say it's flat out cold, but it is chilly. Chilly enough that I don't want to go stand outside. Yeah, there's supposed to be some snow coming this weekend, and I am super, super excited. They're saying 4 to 8 inches, depending on where you're located. I'm hoping for even more, because I want to build a snowman. Yeah, that's right, I said it. That's like nothing. I'll take it. I mean, it would be a snow day if I worked on weekends, but I don't. Bye, Chris. Okay, so you had a bunch of... So this is from Kryptonic Loser. Okay, so that My Little Pony model, I had a bunch of issues with it printing on the MP Mini V2 that has a BuildTak print bed, and I had 3 fails because of the front 2 hoofs wouldn't stick right. So I finally did a brim. Yeah, I mean, I literally haven't printed those with anything. Really, you're eating grass now? Ugh. All right. I have a feeling I'm going to be here for a while, so I'm going to sit in the comfier chair. I didn't have any problems printing it at all. So I didn't use anything. I had a skirt and that was it. So that's not true. I had problems printing it in ABS, in particular on the Zix. And then I had a handful of other issues printing it with ABS on the Flash Forge just because I could not figure out how to dial in that ABS. But otherwise, I haven't had any problems with that model in general. Could be. That's usually my go-to. In fact, it happened the other day where I printed on the Flash Forge and it didn't stick. And then I looked at Nick and said, well, I guess that's what I get for not cleaning the bed. Aw, you're missing out. Snow's fun. We snowshoe. There's some acreage out behind us that we have permission to use. So we go snowshoeing out there whenever we get enough snow. Unfortunately, it's pretty dense tree coverage back there, so you have to get a good amount of snow to actually be able to go snowshoeing. You know, like, we have a 160-foot driveway, and we do have a snowblower on a tractor. But I'm the one who ends up shoveling out around the cars. And I still think it's fun. I mean, I know I'm in the minority there. Well, 160-foot driveway. We have had to shovel that before when the craftsman died and they refused to fix it. And after that, I will never shovel the driveway again. Yeah, I still don't mind walking through snow or driving through snow. I'm not such a fan of driving through snow in Colorado. I think the way that they take care of their roads is not very good. But up here, they do a pretty good job. I just really like to go play in the snow. We have snowball fights, and we throw each other in snowbanks, and we build snowmen and snow angels and all sorts of fun stuff. Snowshoeing. So I'll take it. I like winter fun better than summer fun. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, no, a quarter of a mile is a long driveway. I love when we get snow. I have a drone, I waterproof so I can fly. Oh, that's awesome. I bet that looks so cool. My favorite is when the trees decide to have a snowball fight with you and just start throwing snow. I mean, I know they're just dropping snow, but they're throwing snow at your car when you're driving by. Yeah, spiked hot cocoa, spiked hot rum, hot buttered rum, and spiked cider, and eggnog. Basically all of the fun wintry drinks. Peppermint patties, which hot cocoa with peppermint schnapps. What's not to love? All right, so does anybody else have any other questions while the dog is still eating grass? So, yesterday, I've had a couple of minor issues. Yesterday was a bad print day for me. I know we all have those bad print days from time to time, but yesterday was definitely one for me. The Trinus stopped printing twice during the middle of a print. The Prusa was giving me all sorts of issues. It was just an overall bad print day in general. Also, the Flash Forge, the Z end stop has stopped working. So that's on order. And yeah, so it was kind of a rough weekend for the 3D printers in our house. I did get a couple things printed, but not nearly as much as I had intended and not nearly as successfully as I was hoping for. Yeah, it's kind of a bummer when you have bad print days. I mean, I know we all have them, but it's just really a bummer when you have your hopes high, only to see everything come crashing down. Am I getting an MK3? Yes, I am. I ordered it the day they came out. I still have not got my shipping notice. Yes, I did add a glass surface to the heated bed on the Trinus. I did that because no matter what I did, I could not get it level as is because my heated bed was warped. So rather than fight with it, I just put a piece of glass on top. your printer ate itself? How does that even happen? Yeah, no, so basically we had 3 of 4 printers not working yesterday, and the 4th one was not working properly. I was on their website today and it didn't tell me that I needed to do anything. As far as I knew, the only thing you needed to do was contact them if you didn't want to have the PEI bed and instead you wanted to wait for the powder coated. But as far as I know, that was it. When I logged on today, it didn't tell me that I needed to do anything. Oh gosh, broke all kinds of stuff, ripped wires out of the heater block. Ooh, I'm sorry, that sounds miserable. Yeah, no, I'm really hoping it ships soon. That would probably have relieved some of my frustration. Because part of it is I have some orders, some prototypes that I need to print, and now I have 0 printers to print them on. Normally, the dog is barking at me. Normally, I would... What are you barking at? Come on, if you're done, let's go. Come on. Come on. Come on. Keep coming. Good girl. What was I saying? Yeah, so I don't know when I'll be receiving my MK3. Like I said, I do know that I ordered it the day that it came out, and I think I was somewhere between the 100th and 150th person or something. I don't know, something like that. Nick knows better than I do, because I was in Poland when it came out, and so I ordered it. I want to say it was like 7 or 8 o'clock Poland time, but I could be wrong. Okay, we are back. So I hope you guys enjoyed that field trip into the basement. You ordered the TiVo Tornado. I don't have any TiVo machines. To be honest, I don't really know a whole lot about them. Still waiting on Maker Geeks to ship out Cyber Monday. That does suck. I'm very sorry. I have not ordered from Maker Geeks since the last Geek Box that I got, because I was a bit frustrated with how the Geek Boxes were going. And to be honest, there's a lot of really, really good filament out there, and I didn't want to continue to get filament that was hit or miss, in my opinion. Yours hasn't shipped yet and you ordered yours within minutes. I can't talk. Within minutes of the launch. That's surprising to me. That's actually very surprising to me. They made it sound like the first 100 orders were pretty much out the door already. I mean, not to say that there couldn't be 100 orders in the first couple minutes of them launching, but that is kind of a bummer. Let me know when you get yours. Yeah, I did see that from Maker Geeks being in a bit of trouble with the Better Business Bureau. My mom is an award winner from the Better Business Bureau for her wig shop in Phoenix. And I think that if you are a business, a small business, you should strive to be only an A category with the Better Business Bureau. You should never drop to as far down as they supposedly are. I have not done my research on that, so I'm going based on the articles that I read. And maybe there's a reason for it. You know, I know it is difficult to recover from things once things have been brought up, but it sounds like he has kind of ignored any issues. And that is the absolute last thing you should do as a business owner. Whenever there's an issue, you at the very least should address it. So I hope that he can turn things around. 8 spools for $5.25 a spool. That is a really, really, really low price. Yeah, I mean, that's great if you're just looking for inexpensive material to play around with. For me, the business, I want something that is super consistent, that I can buy and it be the same every single time, and that I know if I order it and it says it's in stock, I will get it immediately. I hear that he has fixed I can't remember his name now, from Maker Geeks, has fixed his system so that it no longer shows things if they aren't in stock. I don't know how true that is because I haven't ordered anything. But for me, thank you, Josh Smith. For me, it is much more important to have something that is consistent, that I can get easily, or that I know I will have access to through multiple places, not just one, than it is for me to have inexpensive filament. But that being said, I do have inexpensive filament that I use for prototyping, and actually a lot of my Maker Geek stuff that I do have still I use for prototyping. So for me, it does have its place, but I do have so much of it from having the Geek Box that I haven't had the need to buy anymore. In fact, half of Nick's Hulk hammer, maybe more than half of Nick's Hulk hammer, was printed with Maker Geeks. We finally got rid of almost all of the white that they sent. I think there's only, I must have put it away. There's only a small amount left. In terms of like a PLA Plus or an HD PLA, I will pick Proto-Pasta every time over it. If you're looking for something that's FDA approved, that's a different story. But that would kind of depend on what you're looking for it to be FDA approved for. But in terms of an HD PLA, I will always pick Proto-Pastas. Theirs are the most consistent. They do tend to be a little bit pricier. They are limited in colors as well, but they always print like a dream. I've never had a failure from a Proto-Pasta filament that wasn't my own fault. The only failure ever that I've had from Proto-Pasta is I was printing Baby Groot in their pine filament, and it was a sample spool or sample pack, and it was tangled and I didn't realize it. Now I go through and make sure that they are not tangled before I start printing with them, but then I didn't, so it did start printing in mid-air because it couldn't pull the filament anymore. That is literally the only failure I've had from Proto-Pasta in all of the prints I've ever done with a Proto-Pasta filament. And I think that says a lot. Maybe it doesn't, but in my mind it does. And I'm a huge fan that they are so in tune with the community, especially on Twitter. They will chat with you. They will take your suggestions. We were talking over the weekend about the fact that there are no glitter greens. There's technically one, but it's meant for a 3D printing pen, and only comes in small sections. It doesn't come in full spools, and I have not been able to find it in full spools, no matter how I've tried. And no, it does not. It is a non-abrasive filament. You can put it through a brass nozzle. And Proto-Pasta said they'd work on releasing a green glitter filament, which would be amazing because green's one of my favorite colors. And it makes me sad that I see these blues and these pinks, but no green. Yeah, they're good people. I've met Alex on one occasion, one or two occasions. I can't remember. And he is a fabulous person. He's very nice. Yes, the perfect colors for a Proto-Pasta mistletoe. Yes, purple is one of my other favorite colors, and that is definitely missing as well. Although, in my opinion, it needs to be a hint of more glitter. I would love to get in there with them and make the most amazing glitter filament on the face of the planet. It needs to happen at some point in my life. I don't know, if you guys could make any filament, what would you make? If somebody said, I want to make you your own personal filament, whatever you want it to be, what would you pick? Mine would obviously be glitter. What color, I don't know, but it would be glitter and it would be amazing. Maybe a teal glitter or a black galaxy glitter where the filament went from like a black to a purple to a blue with lots of glitter in between. Black with monster green flake. So after talking with them, one of the things that you do need to keep in mind with glitter flake is that the larger the particles, the less, how's the best way to say this? The larger the particles, the better it's going to be viewed from up top, so looking down on the model, versus anything with a smaller fleck to it is going to look better standing up. For example, I am slightly prepared. At least with a couple of these. So when you're looking at this, standing upright, which is how this prints, it looks decent, but you get a lot better depth of color and a lot more glitter when it lays flat like this one does. Yeah, my very first, I think it was my very first All the Glitters one, which was on the Proto-Pasta, or OG, as I like to call it, the original glitter flake. I talked about that, and then also I talked about it again when I did the Filamentum, because the Filamentum looks better standing up than it does laying flat. So if you compare that to these two, the stand-up version, you get a lot more of the glitter going through it than you do the laying flat version. And same goes for this. I have to say, I think of all of them, the Winter Flake probably has the best happy medium. I think it looks really good laying flat, and it looks really good on its end. So if you're looking for something that's like a perfect blend, so it will look good in every aspect of your print, then the new Winter Flake is definitely a good option for that. But again, me being the glitter lover that I am, I much prefer the larger flake, even if it means that the stand-up sides of these aren't going to be quite as glittery as the tops would. Does that make any sense to anybody other than myself? And the pink, come on, focus, there we go. The pink, you can barely tell that there's a shimmer in there, but I kind of think it does. I think it looks a little bit better on the stand-up piece than it does on the laying flat. So that kind of goes to show, I think that if you were to take something like the larger glitter that's in the Glitter Flake and add some of the smaller glitter, a lot of the smaller glitter that's in something like this one, you would end up with a really, really awesome filament that was like the best of both worlds. Black with yellow glitter. So the question with black with yellow glitter is, would it actually look like yellow glitter? Or would the black filament base make it look muddy? Iridescent filament that changes colors that at different angles you look at. Yeah, there's a couple that kind of have a little bit of that quality. The Vertigo Galaxy has a little bit of that. In some angles it looks more green, others it looks more gray, and others it looks more yellow, and in some it looks a little purpley. And the Matter Hackers Pearl looks pink in some lights, blue in other lights, and purple in others, depending on which angle you you look at it. Translucent amber, i.e. rum with glitter, and call it Shimmer Me Timbers. That's awesome. That would be amazing. Yeah, take a look at the Vertigo Galaxy. It's super, super pretty. I don't remember where I put my spool. I should show you guys the floor over here. It's really bad. I don't know if I put my spool away or I would show you. But it's definitely one of those, if you actually even just look at pictures of it, some pictures look super gray, some look super green, and some look purpley. So that's a really cool one. And then also the Pearl, which is what I use. And this is a bad example because it's such a small amount of the filament. But the Pearl is what's right here. And in person, in some lights, it looks a little gold. Some it looks a little pink. And some it looks a little blue. But I don't think you're going to get any of that on the camera. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Yeah, buttered popcorn would be awesome. Yeah, that's the Matter Hackers Pearl. Yeah, buttered popcorn would smell so good. But the question is, could you be able to do it so that it didn't smell like burnt popcorn? Because that could very quickly go from the best smelling filament to the absolute worst smelling filament ever. Like if you let it sit in a hot nozzle for too long, would it end up smelling like burnt popcorn? It would be built-in troubleshooting, but oh man, I don't think I could do it. I don't know what would happen if you wet sanded something like that. I have not tried. And I don't have anything printed right now that I could try it on. I've been told that the Vertigo Galaxy smells amazing when you sand it, but I have not tried that because I have not had a chance to print with it yet. Hello. All right, we're going to have to start wrapping this up here soon. So if anybody has any other questions, now is your chance to throw it out there. I have a ton of troubleshooting still to do on the Prusa. I have an order that was supposed to go out today, and unfortunately it could not because I was not happy with the quality that came out of it. Aw, sorry. It was kind of a disaster of a live stream where I took you guys into my basement. It has been a clean chat. Now we know what Nick brings to the chat. You did a week of, oh, with your MK2, was that you had problems with? I don't know if the problems with, so I literally just 2 days ago updated the firmware and the firmware I did a couple weeks ago, and then just a couple days ago I downloaded the updated slicer, and I feel like I've had a couple of issues since updating slicer. Part of it maybe because all of my settings wiped out, and I was not smart and forgot to save them. Um, so I ended up having to go back through and refigure out all of my settings, which obviously is a nightmare when you've gotten them perfected. Most of which I've been able to get back to without a problem. Um, but it seems like the printer is printing a lot faster on the first layer than it should have been. And that on the detailed piece that I was doing was causing failure almost immediately. Um, yeah, it's the worst. I mean, I should have known better, but I was just excited to install upgraded stuff, and I just jumped the gun and did it. And as soon as I reopened it, immediately regretted my decision. Yeah, Shane is awesome. I actually have spoken with Shane. Yeah, so I'm hoping it's nothing serious because as of right now, it's the only printer I have that will run. And my order that needs to go out was supposed to go out today is a multi-material order. So if I can't figure it out, then I'm going to have to contact the customer and refund their money. And I don't mind refunding somebody their money, but I really hate for it to come to that where I haven't been able to deliver on something. I've never had that problem yet, so I would really like to keep it that way where I don't have that problem. So yeah, so hopefully I can get it figured out. Also, all of a sudden, the right side of the bed is suddenly lower than it had been, and the PID needs to be reconfigured. So I'm guessing that happened when I updated the firmware last week. So I think I just need to do some general maintenance on it, and hopefully that will bring it back to normal. Fingers crossed. And if not, then hopefully we end up with a brand new MK3 coming out soon. Yeah, so I'm going to basically start over. I mean, not start over because I'm not rebuilding it, but start over with the calibrations and basically for the next couple hours make sure that everything is back in line. Yes, I did get the kit for the MK3 and I may stream that one. I haven't streamed any before. That would have to be one where Nick would have to be present because I don't want to do one of those where I've watched a lot of people live stream their builds and they've missed steps because they've been paying attention to the chat more than they have the printer, and I don't want that to be the case because something that takes 10 hours to put together, you don't want to have to do that twice. So if Nick is up to it and doesn't mind hanging out for a while I live stream building the printer, then we will see about doing that. And that also assumes that my laptop is back and in working order when the printer is here. I should have my laptop back either on the 6th or the 7th. It says the 6th right now, but then because I changed it to the UPS store near me, it's saying that will push it back a day to the 7th. So fingers crossed that it gets here super soon and that it works properly this time. Yeah, I mean, maybe it will be faster. I'm just going off of the 2S took just around 10 hours, give or take. Bye, Chris. Thanks for stopping by. They did see the screen flickering. They didn't see it shut down completely, but the screen did flicker on them. So they replaced the LCD and they replaced the motherboard. I don't know I don't know if that will fix the problem, but it's definitely more hopeful than them sending it back to me just reinstalling Windows. Especially since this particular problem didn't start until after they had reinstalled or put in a new motherboard in the first place. I have a feeling the motherboard that went in was probably a faulty one. So fingers crossed it comes in and it's okay. I'm also going to get myself a new wireless mouse because it's the only other thing that could be any different from what they have at Gigabyte versus what I have. I don't know why that would be the problem, but there are stranger things that have happened. Yeah, so it could be anything, to be honest. I don't know enough about computers to know that it for sure is one thing or another. I just know that I want my laptop back and I want it working. And I told them that this was the last time I was sending it in, so they better get it right this time. So we will see if they did. I really hope they did. Mostly they've had it for, it will be the equivalent of like 10 weeks by the time I get it back. 10 weeks, that's almost 3 months for them to have a laptop. I know enough to wish I was young enough to retrain for a different industry. Fair enough. Yeah, I don't have a desktop because half of my work gets done on the fly when I'm at work on my lunch break. When we're traveling, everybody told me to get a desktop instead, but it's just not realistic for the way that I run my business and for the way that I get things done. I have to get things done on my lunch break. Basically, if I'm not sleeping or eating, I am working. And unfortunately, that means that a desktop just does not suit my needs. So it's when the laptop works, I love it. That's kind of the even more frustrating thing is I would be devastated to have to get a different laptop because I genuinely really like the laptop when it's working. Which sounds ridiculous. If it's not working, then you shouldn't love it. But it suits my needs and I like everything else about it. So I would be a bit disappointed if I had to get rid of it. I will if I need to. If it doesn't work again, I will I will probably be a lot nastier than I should be. But at this point, I'm just frustrated and ready for the whole debacle to be done. Yeah, I mean, I have, from having a Windows phone back when Windows phones were really a thing, I do have a fairly large OneDrive. But the problem is I would need a computer to use when I am at work. And that means it has to be a laptop. And the laptop that I have currently that I'm working off of is not powerful enough to run things like Fusion 360. It tries, but it crashes constantly. So with needing a laptop that is powerful enough to even have a laptop and then still use a desktop, it's just so unrealistic. And then the other thing is all of my work at home is done sitting on the couch. It's really the only time Nick and I get to spend time together is when I'm designing stuff sitting on the couch. So because of that, having a desktop just does not make sense. I know that they're better quality. I preach that at work. I have a desktop at work and I never have problems with it. The people who have laptops at work have nothing but problems. So I will be the first to tell you that a desktop is the best option, especially for design work. But it's just unrealistic for my situation. And that's okay, assuming it works. All right, guys, I think we're going to call it. We're at almost an hour. I'm sorry this was such a chaotic live stream with having to take a detour downstairs for little Miss Bella. if you are interested in the Proto-Pasta glitter flake, the winter flake, I believe it is $30 for a half kilogram spool. It's the same price as their other two, I'm pretty sure. That's a really pretty combination, the three of those together. I don't know what I'm going to design with the three of them, but I feel like I have to now. I use my phone for that a lot. Great for commuting now. It has offline mode. Yeah, so if you're interested in these, it's fabulous filament. I've never been disappointed by Proto-Pasta, and I don't think I ever will. I mean, unless they decide to not release this. Then I will be a bit disappointed. And for those of you who missed that, these are prototype filaments from Proto-Pasta. This one is a berry color, and this one is flat out pink, and the pink is amazing. I like it a million times more than the berry, although the berry is very pretty too. Anyway, so I hope you guys have a fabulous rest of your night. Thank you for sticking around. I really, really appreciate it. I am hoping once my laptop comes back that I will be able to get back to some more actual filmed videos. So fingers crossed that we can do that soon. I do have some more of all the glitter series that will need to be coming. A couple that I was really hoping to just start printing after this. Unfortunately, with the Trinus being down temporarily, that is going to have to wait. But yeah, that's really all I have for you guys. I hope you have a fabulous rest of your Monday, and I'll see you guys again next time. Bye, guys.